hauling freight across the state line. Watching RG Bargy's logo start to shine.
G'day, RG Bargy crew. Hope you're having a fantastic day today and your family's happy and healthy. We're going to take a look at the Australian Outback Map, the latest update to it, which means it's compatible to 1.58. Rob Biggers was promising that he would update it, and he did, which is good. Now we can actually play on this map, drive on this map without having to roll back to 1.53. Like I say, it is currently compatible with the latest version of ATS, which is 1.58. A few people have asked if it's compatible with ETS2, and the answer to that question is no. It was never compatible with ETS2. It is only compatible with ATS. I don't know if he has later hopes of making it compatible with ETS2. All I know is that it works on American Truck Simulator and works great. The graphics look even better. The performance is even better. But I'll get into that later. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, if you could do so, it's free and I really would appreciate it. Share the video if you think it's worth it with your friends, and also leave any comments, likes, etc. down below. All your links to different things will be in the description, so please read the description fully before you ask any questions, because the answer may be in there. All right, so the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to Trucky and download the latest version of Australian Outback Map if you haven't already got it. And I'll leave a link to that down in the description. Now, there's two ways you can download it. If you've got the Trucky mod manager, you can install it via the Trucky mod manager by clicking the red button. I'm not going to go into how to do all that, but it's quite easy. I've done another video on the Trucky mod manager. Just look it up on my channel and you'll find it there. Or you can download it manually by clicking the green button. It will just download manually, just like you would do with any other third-party site, and then you would just have to move it into your mod folder. All right? So now once you've done that, there's another couple of things that you've got to do. Now, just to clarify a few things, because a few people are getting confused, it's, where is it, versions? No, frequently asked. Okay, so when you go to frequently asked questions on this page, it's telling you that there's 6 parts to the mod. Now, that's not correct anymore. This is from he has forgotten to delete this. This is from the old version of the map. It is now just one file that you need, and that's all. And then he talks about the scaling and stuff, which I will talk about later, and how you can fix that if you want to change it from 1-to-1, because it is a 1-to-1 map, meaning that it is real scale or true scale. Time scale means that if it's 1 hour in game, it's 1 hour in real life, but you can alter that back to the normal ATS scale. And again, I'll get into that later. But for now, you want to download the map with either of these links, and then I'll give you another link. And I know it's an old version, but in here, you want to download the Australian Outback default ATS scale, this one here, and you want to download the draw distance mod RA. Now, they're not necessarily needed, but I'm letting you know to download them if you want to use them. They will be here, and I'll explain what they're used for once we get into it. So the Australian Outback Map default ATS scale and the draw distance RA, or draw distance mod RA, is what you want to download. Is those two. And I'll give you, like I say, I'll give you a link to that. Do not download any of the other stuff, because this is the old version of the game. All you want is that one and that one. I hope that's clear enough. Don't download anything else. Okay? And they're the only ones, only 3 things you'll need to get this map working. So this one and those 2. Boom, boom. Okay? So once you've done that, you'll go into the game. I'm actually in my Australia map profile, but I'm going to start a new one and show you for people that haven't started or haven't got this already, how to install it and get it working. All right, so it's going to be a step-by-step version of how to get the Australian map working, and there are a few little things, but it's quite easy and very simple to do, especially in the latest version of the game. So what you do is you come into the game, click on your profiles up here, and you want to go to the cross, which is so that you can start a new career. All right. So again, just to show you where that is, the profile, click on that, click on the plus sign, and then click new career. All right. And then from here, go to your mods. Don't choose anything. Go straight to your mods. And if you've downloaded everything correctly, your Australian map should be here. Double click on that and put it into your active mods. All right. So again, I'll confirm that. And once you've done that, and it will bring you back here, you then just choose a character that you want to use. I'm going to go, yeah, this guy looks like a weather-beaten old Australian guy. No offense to whoever this picture might be of. I never use Steam Cloud Synchronization. Your choice whether you do or not. I'm unticking it because I never do, because it causes more problems than it's worth. So you want to make sure you choose the language that you're running on. And in here, instead of having California mod or map module, you want to change that to the Oz map module, or oz.mbd. All right? Not the California. Very important that you do this first. Okay, so again, coming in here, after you've put the map into your mods and then chosen the driver you want, you then come in here. If you wish to untick Steam Cloud Synchronization, make sure that it's not on California, that it is on Oz, okay, oz.mbd, and then confirm. You can connect to World of Trucks straight away if you want. For now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do that later. So now we've got the map mod running, okay, without any mods. So we'll choose that career, and we'll have a look at the mods so you can see what I mean. We now have just the Australian Outback map in here. But if you want to place any mods in here now, you can. But for now, we're just going to go with a vanilla map, and I'll show you how it works. So you've done that, and again, I'll run you through that quickly. So you come into here, you click on. In fact, I'll do it again so you know. I like to do this, and people are going to say I'm waffling on, but I'm going to do it just to show you again. So come in here before you choose anything in here. Click the mods. Click on the map. Whoops. And bring it over to here. You can either double click it to bring it over, or you can click on it once and then click the arrow to bring it over. Once you've done that, click confirm, and then come back here and then choose your character. And now you can continue. Again, I unchoose synchronization with Steam Cloud, change it to OzMBD, and click confirm. You can connect to it, World of Trucks now if you want, or do it later. Doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. But as you can see, I've got both there, and that's the latest one. I'm going to get rid of that one because I've just showing you that for a demo. So now we'll go here, we'll select career. So now you would just simply start your career. And you've got to go through the wizard. Now, what I'll show you is what I do is instead of going through all that wizard and setting up everything, I just do this. What I do is I come into my American Truck Simulator folder, which is in Documents, American Truck Simulator. I go into the profiles, and I have already copied my config local, and controls. But this is the latest profile, which is the Australian one. So I'm going to go into this one because I know that it's got all my controls and configs set up the way I want. All right, so that you don't have to reset all your controls. This is only if you've already got a profile, and I'm guessing everybody would, and you want to copy the controls that you've already set into the new profile. So I come here, copy config.cfg, config.localcfg, and controls. So right click on that after I've highlighted them all, copy it, go back, go into the new profile, paste those settings in there, or those files, replace them, and now I don't have to, when I go into the game, I don't have to go through that wizard now. So when I start the career, instead of it showing me that startup wizard, it should now go straight into the game. And as you can see, it has. I have to choose my headquarters because it's a new profile. So we'll go here, confirm selection. You've got to choose your truck. We'll just choose any truck for now. Yes. And now it'll set you up on your first job that you've got to do. But what we'll do is we'll pop out and we'll show you the map. And as you can see there, the Australian map is all installed correctly. You'll notice that there's towns that don't have roads connected. I'm guessing these are for later on when he updates and puts new roads in. But for now, these are the roads you've got. Now remember, this is at a 1-to-1 scale. So for example, this job that we've got here, let's go and have a look at it. So yeah, let's have a look at the map. And as you can see, the distance here is 15 minutes. This will be 15 miles, 20 minutes. This will take 20 minutes to complete in real life because it is in its 1-to-1 scale. So if you want to keep it at 1-to-1, you don't have to do anything further. But if you want to put it back to the same scale as ATS, you're going to need to put one of those mods, those downloads into your mod folder. So what we'll do is we'll now go back to the mods. So go back to title screen. This is if you want to have the same default scale as ATS. But what you want to do is come back into your mods now. And you're looking for, we'll just type in scale, because that should come up. No, whoops, misspelled it. There it is. So we've now got the Australian Outback Map default ATS scale. So we'll double click on that and we just drop that above the Australian Outback Map. And what that does, I don't know if it's a description. Yeah, there we go. Place a default SCS scale add-on at the very top of the load order above part 1. Again, this is showing the old map. Ignore this. There's no longer 6 parts to the map. It is one map. Okay. But what they're saying is place the default SCS scale add-on at the very top of the load order. And again, above the Australian Outback Map mod. And if you put any other mods in, make sure that this stays at the very top. This has to be at the very top. Okay. So place that in there now. Confirm it. And that will now change the scaling from 1-to-1 to the standard ATS scale. But now, instead of it taking actual 20 minutes in real life, it will only take probably a minute. Or maybe 2 minutes to actually
I gotta
drive.
get home in time for Maury.
So what we'll do now is we'll just double check that that has now gone to that scale. Where are we? Map. It's showing 2 hours. Okay. Now the reason it's showing that is because it's 2 hours game time, which means that it will be a minute and a half in real life. That's why it's changed, if you know what I mean. If you go here, you can see it's now 2 hours, and that's game time. So it's not showing the 1-to-1 time anymore. It's showing the game time. So it will take about a minute for it to complete. So we'll start up and we'll just drive it so you can see. We looked up. Pretty sure we are. Yes, good. All right, so you just follow the red trail just like you normally do in ATS. But we're now in Australia, and because you're in Australia, remember you want to drive on the left side, which is the correct side. At least for me anyway, because I am from Australia. And we're in the Western Star. Now I'm pretty sure that if there's any trucks in here that allow you to put the steering wheel on the right hand side in the customizer, you'll be able to do that.
Turn left.
Corner a bit. Yeah. Alright, and you'll notice that the roads are extremely bumpy and undulating, and you'll probably lose traction, etc., which is normal on dirt roads. So again, this strip will only take, and you've got to be very careful on bends, because you'll find that you'll lose traction on bends and you'll understeer and drive off the side of the road by mistake. So be very gingerly around corners. You'll get river crossings, you get crocodiles, you get kangaroos, you get camels, you get koalas. So keep your eyes peeled when you're driving along, because you never know. You can't hear the engine while I'm talking and over revving. So again, like I say, this should only take a minute or two to do this job. Again, like I say, on sharp corners, be very careful, because you'll lose traction and possibly understeer. Yeah, very hard to hear the engine revs with the standard default motor. I like a nice beefy motor that I can hear, so I can tell when I'm over revving or not. Oops. And I'm not used to driving outside the truck like this. As you can see, I'm struggling to get any decent speed because I'm losing traction on the drive wheels. Oh, I think that's a bit too quick. Now, with the previous version of this map, his timescales were out when you went to 8 o'clock in the morning. It was actually something like midnight. It was pitch black, but he's fixed the timescales now so that when you're at 8 o'clock in the morning, it is light. So that's another bonus. At least so far with my testing, that's what I found. So as you can see, the time up in the right there, it's saying it's going to take us an hour and 8 minutes. Again, that's in-game time. So an hour in-game time in real life is about 3 minutes. So I underestimated what time it would take. So it's going to take us another 3 minutes to get there. But that's probably because when it said the rough time that it was, or estimated at the time of arrival, it was going on if I maintained the speed limit, but because we're losing traction, I'm not getting up to the actual speed limit, which is 62 miles per hour. I'm struggling to do 52. Let's see if I can crank it up a gear. I'll maybe get something more. What the hell? Oh, this is only a 6-speed, I think. What's going on? Gears are all over the place. I'm not used to the truck, people. That's my excuse. Yeah, it's a 6-speed. Okay. Here we go. Here I am thinking it's an 18-speed. So as you can see, the roads, this unfortunately isn't a good representation of the map because it's a nice long straight dirt road that we're doing. But there are river crossings, there are mud patches, there's loose dust, there's rocks, there's camels across the road, there's kangaroos, and all sorts of different things that you see in the outback in this map. And like I say, the graphics are great. The performance of the map is fantastic. As you can see up in the top left, I'm getting about 80 something frames per second. I've had up as far as 130 frames per second in different sections of the map. Previously in the old map I was only getting 20 frames per second, but the performance has definitely been enhanced, and although I've seen that there is a little bit of stuttering in some areas where it will jump a little bit, but it's only every now and again, and you don't lose any frames. The frames still stay the same. It has gone down as low as 55 frames per second, but no lower than that. So yeah, I'm extremally happy with the way it's come out, this latest update. The fact that it's so easy to install, it's only the one mod, and away you go. You don't need that other scale mod that I've put in, but I did that just so that it's not a one-to-one, because I didn't want to grab a job and take an hour to show you. We just about finished this one. So as you can see, it is the standard ATS scaling with that mod in it. And then what I'll do is I'll show you what that draw distance mod is for. Although I don't think it is really needed at the moment because the draw distance seems to be fine. What the draw distance is, just so you know, is when you're looking off into the distance, any of the graphics that are in the distance, if they're right off in a far distance, sometimes they take a long time to draw, meaning a long time to appear in the game. And by using that draw distancing, you can make them draw further and further away so they're not popping up in front of you. Although, like I say, right now, looking at it, it doesn't look like it's needed. But again, if it's needed, I'll show you how to use it. If you find that things in the distance are popping up all of a sudden and not flowing nicely or smoothly, then you might want to use the draw distance. Yeah, so you might want to use that draw distance scale mod because it helps create the images off in a distance, or helps them appear sooner so they're not popping up. I don't know if you've experienced that with anything where it does that. Oh, it's nice and quiet in here. Should be in the cab when I'm doing this because I can't see what I'm doing properly. Yeah, got trailer damage. Now that's something you'll notice too, is that you'll get quite a bit of damage to your trailer and your truck. Not a hell of a lot, but you will get little bits of damage, and that's because of how rough the road is. I recommend that you turn your suspension up or jack it up as high as it will go, to prevent your truck from bottoming out on... ooh. I'm going to turn around here somewhere. Around here. I've got to jump in the cab, guys, because of these trees. I can't see what I'm doing. You're going to make it through there? Yeah. Yeah, so I recommend you pump the suspension up as high as it will go to give you a better clearance, so that when you're driving along these bumpy roads, that you're not bottoming out. Okay, it's hard to see where I've got a park. Here it is. Alright, so we're about to drop off and I'm over revving the engine again. Again, I'm not used to this truck, so... Beautiful, there we go. Alright, so that's the first job, just to show you it working. And again, by using that, where I copy the configs and the controls, I don't have to go through and set up all the controls again. Show results, continue, and now you can choose your company as you would normally. Let's go with the Eagle, that's good enough. Oh, company name, we'll call it Oz. We'll call it Oz Demo. There we go, and confirm. Now you'll notice that sometimes you'll get those sort of weird graphics glitches when you're going between the cutscenes between things. I wouldn't worry about it. It's just normal and everything still works fine. It's just those cutscene graphics are a little bit off. But again, that's excusable because everything else works fine. And this is your headquarters. Doesn't look much, but you build up from there. It's pretty basic garage. It may not be much, but it's a start. Correct. Unfortunately, you haven't got anything to park here yet, so there are no trucks inside. Once you've earned enough money and bought a truck, you will be able to move in the world freely and run your own business from here. Good luck. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you can go from there to get quick jobs. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the tile screen and I'll show you that draw distance. So you're looking for the draw distance mod, right? I'm going to download that now because I've actually downloaded it, as I said, and I've already opened it up. But what you want to do, if you're looking to create the draw distance at a greater distance so that it's more smoother, you'll open this up in your zip program and you have all these different draw distance mods that you can use. So depending on your computer system, you can actually have the default one or low draw distance, meaning that it will pop up or it will not put as much strain on your computer. So if you have a low-end computer, you can use this and it will actually help the performance of your computer or your game. So the higher ones, if you use them, it puts more or hits the performance even more using them. But again, as you can imagine, there's a README text in here and it explains all about it. This mod changes the trees and grass LOD or load order distance, draw distance. Low draw distance is 100 to 200 meters for low end PC users, as I said. Medium distance is 300 meters, and you get the idea. It goes up to high end PC users, and yeah, extreme as you can imagine. And then it tells you all about it there. But again, only if you find that you need to use it would I use it. I wouldn't use it if you don't need it. And I'm finding I don't need it, so I'm not going to use it. But that gives you an idea. When you open it up, read the README text. It tells you all about what it does and what it will do for your computer. And then you can choose one of these. Don't put them all in there. Just choose one that suits your PC best. So if you've got a low-end PC, go for the low. If you've got a high-end PC, you can either choose extreme or ultra. And if you're somewhere in the middle, you go for high or medium. All right? So again, pretty self-explanatory. Read the README text and away you go. And that's basically it. That's all you've got to do to install the Australian Outback Map. I'll get it right in a minute. That's all you have to do. Now, from there on, if you want to add mods, you can. Now, I'll show you my current Australian Convoy profile, and I'll show you the mods that are in that. So in here, okay, as I said, you want to keep the Australian Outback Map default ATS scale at the top. But as you can see here, some of the mods I've put at the top. So I've basically ignored what I said before, but I found that they work better there. But everything else is underneath. Okay, so these are all the mods that I've put in there. I have got high draw distance in this one, but I'm thinking of taking it out because, like I say, I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm going to do a bit more testing and see. I'll drive a few jobs with it in, then I'll take it out and find out whether I need it or not. And if I don't need it, I won't use it, because the least amount of mods you're using, the better. The game will run smoother. All right, so just remember that. I put brighter nights in because it can get extremely dark in the Outback. And by putting brighter nights in, at least you can see where you're going. Because it can, like I say, it can get very dark because there's no street lights, anything out in the Outback. It's just moonlight, and that's it, moon and star. And away you go. And most mods are working. Do not use Yarra. Yarra doesn't work on 158, so it definitely won't work in here. But most of the other mods are working. Even the older trucks are working. I've got them all in there, and they're all working fine. I've got the camera mod, etc., etc. But, like I say, it's up to you what mods you put in. Just make sure that you keep these towards the top, if not right at the top. I've just put a couple above because I found that those work better. And I've got the draw distance, but I'm thinking of taking it out. So there you go. That's it. That's all you need to know. Everything should be working from there. And again, just if you need to, just pause the video, rewind it, whatever, go back over it. And that way you can do it at your own leisure. If you have any problems, you can either ask down in the comments, or you can go over to the Discord and ask over there. And again, every link that you need will be down in the description. And hopefully you found that enjoyable and understandable. If you did, and you know of anyone else that might need to take a look at it,